As many of you know, I don't make many videos, or actually none, about religious movements on my channel. But this time I have to speak up and speak out. There was some attention paid to a book called The Family by Jeff Sharlet, and it concerns a sort of a cultish movement in Washington, D.C., which absolutely needs to be exposed, because this isn't about some sort of religion. It is actually the I would call it Proto-Fascism, plain and simple. And so I guess Bill Maher covered some of the stories in this book, and I would strongly recommend reading it, because it is the implications are not just some affairs, private affairs with interns and extramarital stuff between Congress members and covering that up. This entire thing goes much, much further and deeper into the issue. So I would recommend to all of you reading the entire book, which is quite a read, and I must tell you, it is quite frightening. So to sum up some commentary about it, Jeff Sharlet continues his brilliant reporting on the bizarre Christo-Fascist cult called the Family, which counts amongst its members some of the most powerful people holding elected office in the United States. How bizarre and extreme is the family? Attempting to explain what it means to be chosen for leadership, like King David was, or Mark Sanford for that matter, according to his own estimate, asked a young man who put himself body and soul under the family's authority. Let's say I hear you raped 3 little girls. What would I think of you? The man guessed that Coe would probably think that he was a monster. Coe is one of the leaders of this movement. No, answered Coe, I wouldn't. Why? Because as a member of the family, he's amongst what family leaders refer to as the new chosen. If you're chosen, the normal rules don't apply. And just who are the known family members of this precarious organization? So here it goes, and we're going to mention some names here. Men under the Family Religious Political Council include, in addition to John Ensign, Tom Coburn, and Chip Pickering, Senators Chuck Grassley, Republican, Iowa, and Jim DeMint and Lindsey Graham, both Republicans of South Carolina. James Inhofe, Republican, Oklahoma. John Thune, Republican, South Dakota. And recent senators and high officials such as John Ashcroft, Ed Meese, Pete Dominici, and Don Nichols. Over in the House of Representatives, there is Joe Pitts, Republican, Pennsylvania, Frank Wolf, Republican, Virginia, Zach Wamp, Republican, Tennessee, Robert Alderholt, Republican, Alabama, Andrew Crenshaw, Republican, Florida, Todd Tiahrt, Republican, Kansas, Marsha Blackburn, Republican, Tennessee, Joanne Emerson, Republican, Montana, and Joe R. Carter, Republican, Texas. Historically, the family has been strongly Republican, but it includes Democrats too. There's Mike McIntyre of North Carolina, for instance. a vocal defender of putting the Ten Commandments in public places, and Senator Mark Pryor, a pro-war Arkansas Democrat responsible for scuttling any kind of labor agenda whatsoever. Senator Pryor explained to me the meaning of bipartisanship he'd learned through the family. Jesus didn't come to take sides. He came to take over. And by Jesus, the family means the family. The family sponsors missions overseas. And this was actually covered in Bill Maher's interview much better than I can do here. But yes, it does contain missions overseas. And when they arrive in other countries on trips paid for by the family at the behest of the family, these people are still traveling under governmental official auspices, an official business, unofficial business with pomp and circumstance and all the access of their taxpayer-funded elected positions. Here's how a former National Security Council official who traveled with family leader Doug Coe on a tour of Pacific nations described the family effect in small nations where visitors like John Ensign is a major event. It reminded me of the story in World War II, where the British sent OSS types into Borneo. And this guy parachuted out of the sky, and they had never seen anything like this, and so they looked at him, or on him. He had blonde hair and white skin, and he was like a white god who had come out of the sky to mobilize them. Obviously, his side was going to win, so they had no trouble aligning themselves. And their megalomania knows no bounds. Counseling Representative Tiart, Doug Coe offered Pol Pot and Osama bin Laden as men whose commitment to their causes is to be emulated. Preaching on the meaning of Christ's words, he says, you know, Jesus said you've got to put him before mother, father, brother, and sister. Hitler, Lenin, Mao, that's exactly what they taught their kids. And Mao even had the kids killing their own mothers and fathers. But it wasn't murder. It was for building a new nation, the new kingdom. Every once in a while, someone tries to make a case that American democracy does not face any real threat from Christians and theocrats, and that it's all overblown. Thanks to Jeff Sharlet, amongst others, we know that this is just whistling in the dark. These people are seriously demented, seriously undemocratic, and seriously fanatical. Most importantly, they're not seeking positions of power. They are in positions of power.